boys and girls. We're going to read a book today called Dear Mr. Blueberry by Simon James. So Simon James is the author and the illustrator. We are going to use this book today for our writing lesson as well. And the question, what I want you to listen for, and the question that I want you to think about as I'm reading is, what did you learn about whales from Mr. Blueberry? So, remember Five Finger Retell. We're going to listen for the characters. All right? And some stuff in here is not true. Some of it is true. Mr. Blueberry is going to be telling us the facts. And so I want you to think about what Mr. Blueberry says about whales. Dear Mr. Blueberry, I love whales very much, and I think I saw one in my pond today. Please send me some information on whales, as I think he might be hurt. Love, Emily. Now, Emily wrote a letter to Mr. Blueberry, and she says she thinks she has a whale in her pond. Do you think that's true? Dear Emily, here are some details about whales. Shh, Sammy. I don't think you'll find it was a whale you saw, because whales don't live in ponds, but in salt water. All right, yours sincerely, your teacher, Mr. Blueberry. So Mr. Blueberry just told Emily she is one of our characters in this story. We don't see a picture of Mr. Blueberry, but we know he is a character in the story. So Mr. Blueberry just told a fact to Emily. He said he does not think it's a whale because whales live in salt water. And if you have some background knowledge about ponds, we know ponds are not salt water. So that is one fact I could write. I could say whales live in salt water. Now remember, we are not using background knowledge. We are listening to facts from the story, key details. What is the book telling us? What is Mr. Blueberry telling us about whales? Dear Mr. Blueberry, I am now putting salt into the pond every day before breakfast. And last night I saw my whale smile. I think he is feeling better. Do you think he might be lost? Love, Emily. Dear Emily, please don't put any more salt in the pond. I'm sure your parents won't be pleased. I'm afraid there can't be a whale in your pond because whales don't get lost. They always know where they are in the oceans. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. So Emily thought the whale might be lost. And Mr. Blueberry said, whales do not get lost. They always know where they are going. So, right now, I could add that as a fact, but let's keep reading. Okay, so right now I have whales live in salt water. I could also write whales know where they are going in the oceans. Dear Mr. Blueberry, Tonight I am very happy because I saw my whale jump up and spurt lots of water. He looked blue. Does this mean he might be a blue whale? Love, Emily. P.S. What can I feed him with? Dear Emily, blue whales are blue and they eat tiny shrimp-like creatures that live in the sea. However, I must tell you that a blue whale is much too big to live in your pond. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. P.S. Perhaps it is a blue goldfish? Okay, I like that fact. So I'm going to add that one. Whales, remember a sentence starts with a capital. Lowercase a's. I'm seeing a lot of uppercase a's in writing. Whales eat tiny shrimp like. Okay, this is something else I see in writing. Creatures is a pretty big word. I'm going to show you the wrong way. I'm going to start writing it. Now, I ran out of room. Is this what I do? Do I crawl down my paper to make it fit? No, never. Of course, my eraser's way over there, so I'm just going to use my hand. Now, I know it doesn't fit, so I have to go over here, sweep back down and under that first word. Oh, there's EA. Creatures, period. All right, let's keep reading. Dear Mr. Blueberry, last night I read your letter to my whale. Afterward, he let me stroke his head. It was very exciting. I secretly took him some crunched up cornflakes and breadcrumbs. This morning I looked in the pond and they were all gone. I think I should call him Arthur. What do you think, love, Emily? Dear Emily, I must point out to you quite forcibly now that in no way could a whale live in your pond. You may not know that whales are migratory, which means they travel great distances each day. I am sorry to disappoint you. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. So that is another fact that we could write. Maybe you can write that on your own. Whales are migratory, or whales migrate. We know that word. We've read it in some of our Mayan books. Dear Mr. Blueberry, tonight I'm a little sad. Arthur has gone. I think your letter made sense to him and he has decided to be migratory again. Love, Emily. Dear Emily, please don't be too sad. It really was impossible for a whale to live in your pond. Perhaps when you are older, you would like to sail the oceans, studying and protecting whales. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. Dear Mr. Blueberry, it's been the happiest day. I went to the beach and you'll never guess, but I saw Arthur. I called to him and he smiled. I knew it was Arthur because he let me stroke his head. I gave him some of my sandwich. Now, boys and girls, do you think that really happened? think Emily just has a really good imagination. And then we said goodbye. I shouted that I loved him very much, and I hope you don't mind. I said you loved him too. Love, Emily and Arthur. The end. Okay, so I wrote 2 facts with you about what did you learn from Mr. Blueberry about whales. 1, whales live in salt water. 2, whales eat tiny shrimp-like creatures. All right, I want you to write me 1 or 2 more about something else you learned from Mr. Blueberry about whales. Now remember, key details. I want you to tell me what Mr. Blueberry told you about whales, okay? We're not using background knowledge. Key details are from the book. Okay, can't wait. Upload it to me.